And I think we're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive this time around, as some of you guys have commented in previous the video we did with the connection. We kind of take a different approach. I feel like every year, something about doing it every year. I kind of like, I guess, don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again, kind of. But it's kind of what a rebuild is. But it's kind of the same but different with different teams. But I try to do things differently personally to try to keep things a little bit fresh. But at the same time, you don't want to get away from the whole concept of the rebuild. So I think we've been a little too conservative. So we'll try to be a little bit more aggressive. I've seen a few people, few of you fellas, I said few, I don't know what it was. People sending really weird. I've seen a few of y'all kind of hint at that though. So we're gonna work on that. But I mean, we're looking at Marner, Matthews, Nylander. Woo. Is that a first line? Is that a first line? Yeah, +5 that line. Can anybody? Oh, they can. I was about to say, can anybody else play on this first unit? And they can. Do you really sacrifice Marner for? We're gonna go straight. We're gonna just get straight to it. We're gonna go straight. Actually, you know what? I don't even know how I like Domi on the third line as a winger, or not as a winger, as a playmaker. I can't believe Max Domi's got an 84 overall. Huh? Good for him. Because see, if we bring in another guy, what's Camp? He is a two-way forward, so if we move Camp down, that'll help out the bottom 6. I kind of like having Ryan Reeves down there. Yarncroc. This is some solid guys. Jen Croak. Is it Jan Croak or Yarncroc? I always call him Yarncroc. But John Croak, I've been hearing recently, that was Lee Sands, though. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they would know better than I do. Looking at the defense, we have Giordano. The defense needs a little bit of work. The first lineup, I mean, you got +4 in that first line of those guys. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's why they're moving Riley down to the second, but you're not going to play Morgan Riley in the second line. That's not going to happen. We'll see what we can do here. Lilligren wants to be in the first unit. Will he do good with Riley? For now, he could. It looks like TJ Brody's not that guy, though, for the first. He doesn't really have good chemistry anywhere on this team. Him and Morgan Riley do not play well together. Riley really does have the better chemistry on this second line. We do have some, I'm assuming that was going by the chemistry. That's why these guys are down here, right? No, not at all, actually. What if we put McCabe up here? The defense ain't as bad as I thought it was. They said some guys further down the list. We still want to get a defenseman. You want an offensive defenseman on a third unit. That don't seem like the greatest of ideas there. I'm going to put him in a second unit, TJ Brody, but he don't really fit there. I don't know. Giordano is so much older. How's he looking defensively? Giordano, 92 shot blocking, 88 defense and stick checking. I mean, pretty solid, really. McCabe, we have 88, 87, 88, 81, 87. He's not very good defensively at all as Klingberg. And I don't think he is good offensively. He's a 93 by 93 in passing and puck control. He's got really good offensive stats, actually. Do we want to put that on this team? That might be our guy. See, the thing is, we put him on a third unit. That might help. Because you want to have a guy like that on a power play, right? What was Morgan Riley? And Morgan Riley, I don't know if we need 2. I don't know if the Leafs need 2. I don't know if you ever have that situation come up on this team. Not when you have Matthews, Nylander, Marner, Tavares, and right now they got Klingberg on that first team. But you can put Morgan Riley up there and be just fine. We might ship Klingberg out the door. I'm worried about that defense hurting us. We're definitely going to go get a winger if we can afford it. But if Klingberg probably costs a little bit, right? I would assume Klingberg's got a modest contract at the very least. Klingberg. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, look at that Matthews contract. Look at those contracts in general. 3 guys at over 10 million. We're going to do some work to get that in. But yeah, so Klingberg does have 3.975. We're going to move Klingberg. We can get a much cheaper defenseman. At this point, we have to, even if there was a little bit of room for Klingberg, and there's just not enough reason to keep him because we're so pressed against the cap. Oh, they gave Marner franchise potential in a game. Nice. I wonder if they gave more people franchise potential this year. That's one thing I haven't been paying too close attention to. Who is this that doesn't want him? Ooh, Boston wants him. But yeah, let's give him the ball. Ooh, do we give him the ball? See, that's a double whammy. Does Boston need to do an offensive defenseman? We ain't got to send him to Boston. Because they ain't got to pick anybody else up throughout the season. We're going to help Boston out because we got to play them eventually. Dallas, same story. I ain't afraid of Edmonton. Edmonton's going to be over the cap. Who else is out there? Montreal. Yeah, there's a team we ain't afraid of. And, except for the regular season. Am I right, Toronto? Am I right? They didn't think that was funny. It's all in fun. Let's get. We don't really want to. Actually, you know what? Let's see what Montreal has to work with. Let's see what they got. Let's see what kind of defenseman they got. Let's take a little peek at the defenseman in Montreal. Ooh. We can get Ghoul. I ain't worried about the contracts. I'm worried about how talented these guys are. He does fit in a second pairing. He has an 81 overall. We're looking more for a first pairing defenseman. That's the problem there. Or not first pairing, third pairing. Wideman, two-way. How's he look? Defensive pairing. What? That's not going to happen, Wideman. Now we're going to have to go somewhere else for a defenseman. That's okay. It's not a big deal. We'll get a draft pick, a little compensation here in return for Klingberg. I am really yawning today. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know if you can hear what I just said. That was the second time it came up, and I was trying to like bury it. Montreal will be over the 45 skid organization limit. So we do have to get somebody in return. Somebody cheap, please. Somebody got me a space. Oh, they got Armia and Gallagher. There's a contract. How about that Gallagher contract? Yeah, we're going to take that. We'll take this guy. We'll take the keeper. We need a tendy over here. Ooh, we're going to go for a trade for a tender? Rarely do we do that in the franchise modes because the goaltender seems to not mean anything, but we get a second round pick. We can. That's nice. That's nice. Assistant roster, GM best rosters. We'll take that. My mistake. Let's go with. Do we go with the winger first? I'm thinking we'll go with the winger first. I didn't look at anybody except for Klingberg if we had any other expensive contracts. I would assume not with the Leafs. They just can't afford it. Camp's a guy that you can consider moving on from if you had to. Ryan Reeves is the same story. Ryan Reeves is barely over the minimum now, like 400 or 500K. I don't think that's gonna make too big of a difference. The goaltenders are interesting. Are we paying either one of these goaltenders? Nah, not really. No, 3 million's great. Jordan the Wall Mall. That's not even his name, right? Joseph Wall. Hey, he was on our fantasy team. Left him on a bench when the Leafs came back that other night, right? It was down. What was it, 3-0? Getting blown out. They brought in the Wall. Slammed it down. Leafs came back and won. That reminds me. What time is it? I gotta remember to do that. It is Thursday. Gotta update that fantasy team. Pretend we're not new. We're gonna get a right winger. Let's look for a winger. I don't think we can search specifically for a right winger. We have Tavares right now. Not looking for anything in particular. We're gonna get only get an 85 plus though. I think if we can find an 85 plus winger. Maybe 86. I'm interested. Let's see what they got out there. And the reason we say this is because I would really like to put Marner with Tavares. Because I know that combination could work. But I want to keep that +5 in the first line. Keeping that +5 in that first line, you can't turn that down, I don't think. That's too good to pass up on. So we're going to go this direction. We can't go too expensive. We'll go with 2.5 and under. We got to get a defenseman. We don't have to go. Oh, there's only one option. Hagel. The Hagenator. And unfortunately, Hagel does not fit in this scheme. So let's go back. That's unfortunate. Our hands are a little bit tied here. A little bit. Where's the cap at? Let's move it up to... I know we ain't going to find any at 4. You ain't going to find a high. There's a couple. And see, it's going to be you're going to have a hard time finding anybody this low in general. I would like a Martin Necas. Necas would be a nice one. He's a playmaker. Shot caller, does not really take faceoffs. They have him at that, but 69 draws. Doesn't fit on the scheme. Stevenson's a fourth liner. We can't pay that much for a fourth liner. Pavelski, they say the same thing. I mean, all these guys aren't fitting the scheme the best by the looks of it. And I mean, I get it. What are they, two-way forwards? Yeah, they ain't really built for that particular spot. We may have to drop the overall just a tick here to an 84 then. Didn't really want to do it. But I think this is a team that's heavy enough on the top line where they can, and you do have, at the end of the day, you do have John Tavares, who's well known for being able to carry some wingers, whoever you put around him. Forward line 2 is Barbanov. That would be a good one then. Barbanov, he may fit. He's one of the few. I ain't seen anybody else. Top 6 for Blake Wheeler. Did we get Blake Wheeler one time? Did that not end up well? He's a power forward. He fits on every line, or top 6. He's a good passer. Can he shoot? Not really. I'd like a goal scorer, but I think Tavares can carry that part. Is Patrick Kane on the minimum? Oh, he's not there. That's why. That explains it. Is he a free agent? What do we get Patrick Kane? How's Patrick Kane like forward line for? Dang it. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice. Bedard. Let's go messing around. Let's take a look at Barbanov. I think that's who we want. Pending we don't see a sniper somewhere that fits on this team. Kirby Dax a power forward. Max Domi's on our team. Patches is a power penalty killer. That leaves us with the compensation we give in return. Oh, we did just get that second. That's big. I didn't know Toronto didn't have a second round pick this year. They don't have any picks next year. Jeez, this is going to be a tough team to work with. No first round pick, no second round pick next year. They don't have a second round pick this year, besides the ones we just traded for. We're going to have to start wheeling and dealing the prospects, to say the very least. But I'm hoping we can go light here. And we can. Okay, that'll work. That will work. I was surprised they took that one. And now we're going to find a defenseman. And we're going to find one on the cheap. Which is very, very difficult to do in this game. Because a defenseman, obviously, in the first place, you know, once they're a veteran, they start making, they don't get overpaid by a lot, but I mean, they kind of do, where they're getting, you know, I wouldn't call it overpaid, I guess middle of the pack, you know, they're getting that 4 to 5 million range typically. And we, quite frankly, can't afford that. Just to put it simple. And we want to get a good overall right here. We're trying to look for a guy that could potentially slide around from the first line to the second line, maybe be a little bit versatile for this team. Like, you know, Luke Hughes would be a great one. We can get that though. That'd be a great one though. Forsling, let's take a look here. Sider's way too expensive. We'll get on the list here, see who fits in the system. Deep pairing one. That's kind of what we'd like. Deep pairing one there for Forsling. I mean, we can look right off the bat here at which one's better between Fehervey and Forsling. He's a defensive defenseman. I mean, it does go well with what we're looking for, I think. You're kind of looking for a guy to stay back. Morgan Riley's going to be more of the offensive guy. He can do that. Forsling is an offensive defenseman. I think we want to stay away from that since we already have one. Let's take a look here. He's expensive. He's really expensive. I mean, he's 23. That's what you kind of expect. But we got to get a higher overall here. At 23, he can be an 85 by the end of the season, maybe even an 86. So he's playing first line minutes. So we'll see what we can do here. Oh, yeah. You want Nylander? Yeah. Somehow we're still under the cap. We're going to give you a first. Do we start? See, this is the thing we haven't quite done this year, is asking EA to retain salary, because we've learned in the past is like it completely kills trades trying to ask teams to retain salary. We're gonna give you a third and a first. To be honest with you, Washington is not too thrilled and part ways with what you're asking. Divide what you're asking us to take this up to snuff, and it doesn't match our trade block needs. Nah, it really doesn't. It doesn't block your. I ain't gonna argue with that one. We didn't give you a single thing you wanted, but I tell you what. You got something that we want. And the service trade looks good to Washington, but we are not willing to keep the. Yep, there it is. There's a salary thing. So let's see if we can give. Let's see what EA's done to get them to keep salary. How about a fifth? Nope. See, this is the problem. The problem we're really having too is we really need them to keep that in case we need to make some headway later, and they're not going to. See, this is what interests me about this game. I'd like to see weighted. Because like, how much is 1.25 million in retention worth over 3 years? It's not a lot. I mean, if we throw on an extra third round pick, that seems like a lot. It's not like we're asking you to retain, you know, $1 bazillion here. Let's do a first and a third. Did I just drop our other third? That was my mistake. They ain't gonna take that. No, I didn't. What? First, third. Islanders first, third. Oh, we didn't click on the other one. That's what it was. Okay, there you go. Let's give you Toronto's. And they're still not that. Do you think you can be a GM with Washington Capitals and still fail at such a simple thing like reordering your trade? Whoops. Did we do that? Oh, was that us? That'd be funny, right? Imagine doing that. Look, it's pretty simple. Oh, they're getting mouthy! Did we really send that once already? I would be too. I don't even blame them. This is getting ridiculous. We're gonna have to figure something else out, I guess. And this is difficult. This is difficult times. So we're gonna drop you. We're actually gonna say, you know what we could do? We can send a player in return. That'll free a little bit of cap space up. Who can we give you? NHLer isn't playing. Is Gambro playing? I don't think I've seen him. I think he can be sent away. We'll give you him. How about that? How about that, New York? Thank you. I mean, you could have had literally 2/3 and a fourth and probably upgraded that to a second. You could have probably had a second round pick. Probably could have had a second round pick if he was just a little less cheap for the next 2 years. But hey, I'm not the GM of the Capitals. Well, my job, you know. We was at one point in time, not really, but you know, in the game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this team status. We're a buyer, it says, so they like that. We are in a position to win games still. Marner, Matthews, Nylander. Camp Tavares Bertuzzi. We need to upgrade our team. Now the question is, which one of these guys are we going to drop? Is it I feel like if Robertson's going to be, we got a couple guys. If Nyes is going to be up here, they got to play, right? Robertson is a sniper. That's just not going to work. It's just not going to work on the bottom 6. So he's going to have to not play. What did we pick up? It wasn't a center. What did we pick up? Was it not a center? Did they put him in a system? Is that what happened? McCabe, keeper. Did I miss a Marner? Dealer, Bertuzzi, Tavares. They must have threw him in the AHL. Nice. Okay, so him and Brody together, not the best. Oh, you want Morgan Riley on the 3rd line now, EA? I see the new updates coming in, looking good. Oh yeah, I heard there was some franchise mode updates. So it's been a logic update that said, let's put our #1 center on the 3rd line. Best thing I've seen all day. That's great. That's fantastic. That is why he's there, though. He just doesn't have chemistry with anybody on the 1st line. It almost makes you want to entirely substitute this guy. Balance pinch. He doesn't fit. Well, why did it say 1st line if we was going to get that kind of chemistry? I don't know what that was in English, so please don't ask. And Giordano and Riley could play together. And Brody, you two could play together. I'm really nervous about that, though. I don't like the idea. We could put Liljegren up there. I don't like the idea of Giordano being up there for some sort of reason. Liljegren's better up there. Maybe he can help. I mean, he is 24. He could grow a little bit. We're going to try that. And we're going to go and talk to the AHL about why they stole our player. We paid good money for that man not to be in the AHL. The Marlies would like, let's take a try. Maybe they won't even notice. They won't even notice he's down here. It'll be all right. You guys can have the keeper because, you know, the team we traded for obviously didn't want him because he's still on the team. Best AHL lines that are due. I think we'll be all right here. I hope. Let's take a look here. That's the AHL. Keep it. Who did we say was going to move? Was it Robertson? I think it was Robertson. Well, the good thing about Robertson is he does hold some trade value. So if we need to move somebody, we can. So we'll put you here. Nah, it won't work. I want to do it. I think Tavares has got some more than capable players around him, though. I think that'll still work out. Reeves is definitely more of a 3rd line guy. I do think that's a thing, but it's looking like I see sniper playing 9-2-4. That's good. It looks like for a chemistry reason they want to keep him on the 3rd, but you can't put him in 4th on the 3rd. We're going to have to put Reeves here. Reeves seems to sort of be holding back this line a little bit. And maybe we put Nyes up there. You think Nyes will play better there? I mean, that's going to help the chemistry a little bit more. We're really trying to boost that chemistry up the best we can if possible. We're going to put Nyes there. The defense looks good. The power play, Klingberg's no longer there. So now we have Morgan Riley still getting a +5. Kind of expected that. Power play line 2. We have Domi, Bertuzzi. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, hang on a second. Do we have a better defenseman? Let's get TJ Brody up in there. He's been solid, able to do it at some point in time in his career, so we can try that out. And I know we can't. They said give me a negative. Give me a negative. We're gonna do what it has to do to get to. We don't want to handicap our power play unit if we don't have to. We could double shift some guys. We'll leave it like that. Look at that +5. That was looking great. Penalty kill. Yeah, that'll work. Penalty kill 2. That'll work. All right, we're looking good. How's the goaltending look again? I think we just looked at, what was it, an 84 and 80? Yeah, 84 and 80. Samsonov, starting goalie potential. That's what they wanted to be. Whoa, they're calling it backup, but let's play some hockey. Let's get a couple games in here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs, again, trying to get over that hump, trying to, for the first time in 50-some, has it been that long? I don't think it's been that long, but it seems like it's been a while. Trying to find themselves in the conference finals in the, I was going to call it the AFC. Too much football in the Eastern Conference. We're going to get them to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Just give this team a little bit of time to gel, a little bit of time to mesh. And again, we're going to stay aggressive. We're going to try to stay aggressive this time around. 6-0 in the preseason. That is a very good sign. 7-0 in the preseason. Got to win the preseason games because a lot of teams are starting AHLs. We've got a full-fledged NHL roster out there. So if you lose a nose, a little bit of a concern. The Leafs going to start 2-2. Going to lose to the Lightning. Going to lose to Florida losing out in Florida in general. They're both those games. Toronto starting a little bit slow. 4-7-1. Not the way you wanted to see this team start to see. I mean, this is ugly. It's really ugly. 6-8. You're losing, get they're blanked by the Detroit Red Wings. We might not make it. We might not make it to December. What is going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs? 8-12-2. Something ain't right. This team has got to get on a win streak, and they better get on it quickly. Here we go. 5-game win streak. This is what you wanted to see. Going to lose one to the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they continue to win after that. They have won every game since the 2nd of December, a -1. They're now 17-13. We're going to let this team ride out the hot streak because now you have to. You got to let them ride out. What hot streak, I guess, apparently. It does feel like when you see stuff like that, it feels like a little bit of a 500 hockey club. 21-14. I see. I have the problem when they start winning. I don't like messing with things too much because I want to see. You got to give it time to balance out because we're going to see guys put up some ugly numbers because of that stretch at the beginning. So I kind of try to play a few extra games on a balance out so we don't get too trigger happy. Let's look at that first line. Nylander 46 points. Matthews 50 burger 24 goals so far this season on pace for another 50. 54 for Marner. Bertuzzi's got 35 points. We got 31 out of Tavares, and then there's 29 out of Barbanov. So not horrible for the second line. How's the third line looking? -11. So the third line's ugly. It is really ugly. So we got 23 points out of Yarncroc, 22 out of Max Domi. And Matthew Knies is not working. Matthew Knies is not working one bit. The bottom six at all is not working one bit. So do we even give somebody else another chance to play up here? Or do we just say, Knies, you need to get out of here? Ryan Reeves, LaFerty seems to be the best bottom six guy we have. As far as the defense goes, it's not horrible. Now they're pretty balanced. Let's see what we can do with the bottom six. We gotta bring a couple guys in. Those are some ugly numbers. Those are really, we usually rarely see our bottom six struggle like that, but those are some ugly numbers. And that's you kind of expect that with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So when you're paying three guys $10 million plus, you're going to have a hard time retaining a bunch of your guys that are those ever so important bottom six players that help get you through that deep playoff run. And Toronto's seeing that through and through right now. We're going to go minimum 80 or minimum 81. We're really trying to stay aggressive here. I think we're going a little high on the cap space or the price tag. Minimum 81. Let's take a look here. I ain't looking for anything too crazy. Who's this? Let's bring back downtown Connor Brown. Forward line 2. That's not going to work, Connor Brown. Sorry. All penalty killing use for Cole Perfetti, Dawson Mercer, same story. Lusterinen. Cost a little too much. Let's go see if we can find somebody else. Jack Quinn. I remember Jack Quinn. Oh, what's Jack Quinn been doing? He's been improving, it looks like. That's good. Good for him. Pinto, Novak. Novak fits on forward line 3. Let's talk Novak here a little bit. He's looking like he's having a solid season. He's thinking they're a point per game. He's having a really good year. I don't know if they're going to be willing to wheel and deal him. And he plays center. I don't know if he would just draws. Let's take a look here in a second. But Toronto's willing to wheel and deal. We're going to send you. Which one of our young prospects do you want? Because he's out the door. Either one of them about to be gone. You want Timmins? I don't see a spot. I mean, we got elite potential on Robertson. Is he playing? No, we didn't give Robertson a chance, but he's a sniper. I don't think we're going to give him a chance. He's out the door. Robertson, you're gone. I think that was a pretty fair trade. I don't even know why they want more than this. I think we're getting a little crazy. Nyquist ain't going to work. That's not going to fly. How about Sissons? Sissons is expensive. He is a bottom 6 guy, though, so that's perfect. Trennan, he's a power forward. He's been playing pretty solid. How's Nashville as a whole been looking this season? Plus minus a 0 and kind of middle of the pack for the team. Garyanov, he's a +1. He's been having a nice season as well. He's a sniper. They must be playing second line minutes over there with him too. I know playing 12 minutes a night, but he ain't playing much time on a power play. Let's just try that straight up for now. So we're Novak for Robertson. That is more than enough, by the way, Nashville. Wait, hang on a second. Before I disrespect Novak is that's more than enough. We're getting a young and up and comer. I shouldn't even have to add. You should be adding a little bit more, I think. They're not gonna do it though. They're gonna be like, you know what, you wanna run your mouth, Quinn? Here. I actually want more than 2/5. How about you throw in a third? How about you throw in a third for talking bad about our players? You know what? I deserve it. I deserve it. Trade accepted. There we go. We need one more. So we're gonna Novak. I'm still looking for the entry-level guys if possible. Marchenko, Blue Jacket legend. How's he looking? -2 on the season. Not looking good enough. Doesn't fit anywhere. Jarvis is how's he looking on a season? 39 points. I say he's a stud. He ain't playing down there that far in the bottom 6. He don't belong there. Forward line 4 for Patrika. He's a -6, and I like that. Hoglander, playmaker. It's not gonna work. Rasmussen wants to be a top 6. Forward line 4. How's Tippett? He's a sniper still. Zetterlund, that's a 2-way 4 on the Sharks. How's he looking in the season? I mean, that's a Sharks team. It's hard to tell. -3. That might not be that bad at all on a Sharks team. How's the stats look? 5 goals, 6 assists, 85, 82, 84. He's not the greatest looking defensively. How's the turnover department looking here? 44% of draws, 32 hits, 11 blocks, 16 giveaways, 15 takeaways. He is giving a puck away a little bit there. Let's compare that to somebody else. How's Tippett looking? Here's the giveaways. He's got 18 takeaways, 10 giveaways. 60 takeaways or giveaways a little better. Forman's got 19. Just to get an idea, is this defenseman? No, we're on forwards only. Who am I getting? 21. This is a tough decision. I would like Blake Wheeler. I mean, Blake Wheeler's not a top 6 guy for the team. It's a good addition. It really is. I like what I'm seeing here a lot better, I think. How's he looking? +3, 13 points. Yeah, let's talk about Sundqvist. Sundqvist in the Blues. Let's go over here. St. Louis, what do you got to talk about? They are willing to wheel and deal him as well. That is some good news for us. Shouldn't cost too much then. Who are we moving on the defensive side that's been struggling? Nyes is one of them, and they want Nyes. Nyes was really struggling. We'll take it. We'll compare notes. We'll compare notes to everybody, so we ain't just throwing everyone out the door under the bus like Nyes. 22 takeaways, 18 giveaways. So he was playing. I mean, he was playing solid defensively, really. Who else we got? Camp. How have you been playing this season, pal? 15 takeaways, 17 giveaways. Oh, Nyes was a lot better than that, right? 18 giveaways. So they're both giving a puck away a lot. Ryan Reeves, he's trying to land a lot of bodies, right? 18 takeaways, 13 giveaways. Definitely the better of them so far, it looks like. Who else did we have? Where did we look at Lafferty? 20 giveaways, 17 takeaways. I don't really like that out of him, which is weird because he's the best plus-minus guy of all the team. Yarncroc, you gotta go. 31 giveaways, 23 takeaways. He is playing more minutes. Okay, I gotta give him that. He's playing more minutes. Gotta be careful there. Novak is not our player yet. Barbanov is 23 giveaways, 24 takeaways. That is still a lot of giveaways, I think. Max Godomi, 24 giveaways, 30 takeaways. Max Domi being on that line. I'm worried about Max Domi, too. I don't like putting those playmakers on the bottom 6. But at the same time, I'm looking at that overall and saying, hey, look at that overall. Yeah, give him a little bit of a chance because of that overall. 25 giveaways. That was a lot of giveaways for Kale over here, wasn't it? What did he have? 31. I mean, we can try putting him on the fourth line, and I think we will. That just seems like a lot. That doesn't seem good at all. It does not sparkle over here. So Sundqvist, I'm not really willing to wheel into one of these young guys yet. I'm a little bit attached to them. We'll give you a 5th for them. They're going to take that, are they? Nah, we're giving up not enough. But they are willing to trade him, which is good. So we're going to give him a 5th and a 6th. There we go. That'll work. That'll work. That's great. That's great. Give us the best roster. I shouldn't hit that because we might have to change the power play again. But we picked up 2 bottom 6 guys. That's going to give us a little bit of time, give us some time to the trade deadline to see, give these guys a chance to mesh, give them a chance to play some hockey together. Who was we going to move? So Novak's playing center now. That's an upgrade, right? Is Novak better than the draws? Novak is 43%. I think, what did we see before? Did we see 40%? Did we see that earlier? He's 52 now. He can play face-offs. He can take those draws. He's doing better. Cam Sundqvist. How's Domi doing in the dot? Domi, 48%. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. We're going to move you down here, actually. And who else did we have? Sundqvist is new to the team. Camp. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of over Yarncroc. but I want to give him a chance. Just because I know he's capable of, I got a sentimental attachment to the guy. That's not gonna fly. Ryan Reeves is off the team for the moment. You have Domi. You gotta go. You gotta go. I don't think I have an option. Or do we? We picked up Novak. Who's the other guy we picked up? Sundqvist and Novak. Oh, well, all right. That'll work. That'll work. All right, let's try that out. Let's try that out. And then I don't know what McCabe's doing on the bench still. How's the defense looking? 7 minus plus 4. Well, quit that. Stop that, EA. You stop that right now. Third liner Morgan Riley. How's Timmins looking? 1 goal, 5 assists. Giordano's 5 goals, 4 assists. Giordano putting some goals up out there. Playing a little bit better. Don't want to switch guys just to switch them, but at the same time, I think if you got a better player on the bench, you got a better player on the bench. So let's take a look at McCabe. How's he looking? He hasn't played at all. To a defender, he fits in. That's the problem. So he doesn't have that chemistry. Is he going to hurt the bottom unit? He is. That's a concern. Who did we have up here in the first line before? Was it Liljegren with... Was it Liljegren or was it Giordano? It was Liljegren. Okay, so put Liljegren here. Brody here. That's tough because McCabe don't want to be on this line. And I'm not really upset with how the defense is played. I think that's what's really difficult about it is the guys that we had in were doing all right. And then McCabe comes in, he's hurting that chemistry. We're going to leave him on the bench. If something happens, I mean, he's always a good backup option. Let's play a few more hockey games. We beefed up the bottom 6 a little bit. Hopefully I can help Toronto get in the right direction. Sometimes the sim engine just doesn't sim engine with us. It just does not go well. And that could be the case right now. We're going to take this to the deadline right now. At least 24, 16, and 3. We got to make sure this team makes the playoffs. So there's no question about that. If we have to go all in late, we have to go all in late. If we have to pick up some 85 overall third line, that might have to happen. But see, the thing is, when you do that, the chemistry doesn't always fit. Right now, Toronto's starting to play a little bit better puck, which is good. We need it because I really don't want to be put in that situation. 33-19, winning some hockey games. Toronto's starting to really find their footing here. 35-20, moving up in the standings. Entering the trade deadline at 37, 22, and 4. I mean, they're really about 10 games away from clinching a playoff spot, and they got, what, about 20 games to do it? Matthews now has 75 points. Toronto, 35 goals, 40 assists. Toronto looking out here, taking a look at this team line by line, making sure we're still looking good here. A little 60 there, 75 out of Matthews, 64 out of Marner. Bertuzzi's playing really well, 54 points. 55 out of Tavares. 46 out of Barbanov. So they're all playing great. Novak's having a heck of a season. Now, he was having a heck of a season before he came over. He's +2 now. Minus 14 for Max Domi. Max Domi's terrible. Max Domi cannot be. Yarncroc cannot be there either. We wanted to keep him, but they're just going the wrong direction. How's this guy looking? His giveaway's only gained 5 since then, but to see that plus minus just keep ticking higher and higher. To the downside. Domi's as well. The problem with Domi is, again, you can't have that playmaker on the bottom 6. But we're going to try to find a center. It's going to be difficult. Late in the season, don't have a lot of prospects left here. And I would like an 83 plus if we could. And he's got to be cheap, of course, because we don't have any cap space over here in Toronto. Understandably so. Now it's going to be the problem. We decided bringing it up, right into the bat. They had all these high-paid players. How are you going to find somebody that can fit under the cap, that can provide some solid depth to this team, that's going to mesh well with this team? Lundell's really expensive. Connor Brown's not a center. Dawson Mercer is a center. How's he been playing this season? That ain't going to work. Next. Forward line 3 from McTavish. Is he a center? He's 78 on the draws. He's expensive. He's a -2. Anything to that. I mean, a -2 playing second line minutes though on Anaheim's not that bad. And I'm probably bottom 5 in the league right now if I had to guess. 28 take giveaways, 55 take. Oh, he's really good defensive. I like McTavish. We're gonna overpay for him, I think. But we have to. Oh, you know what though? We might not be. Because Domi's walking out the door. Domi's done. Domi ain't staying there. We gonna play like that on this team? Team trying to make playoffs, Max? He doesn't have any trade value apparently. It might not be. Okay, but Domi's gonna... I gotta see what that contract was. The thing is, now we're talking about we have to give up a first. We don't have much of an option. Domi does have 2.8, so that's good. That's going to open up the books there. They aren't going to take Domi in a first. Whew. That's a steep price. That's a steep price we're willing to pay. Here, take a second. Look at the trade. The value we're asking to is just isn't up to snuff at all, and it doesn't match the trade block needs. Okay, so you said you wanted another second. That's what you said. I'm hearing. I think I heard that through the windmill. They're gonna. What are we about to do? For an 83? McTabb would be a solid player. 2 firsts? And Domi? How much are you trying to fleece us, Anaheim? You know we're in a weak spot right now. We're at the trade deadline. We'll give you anything at this point. I mean, we're trying to play realistic, but you ain't even being realistic. Ain't nobody sending that much for that guy. Nobody. It was good doing business with you, though. We had them NHL lines. We'll go. We're going to bring him on in here. It's third line. I really want to get rid of Yarners. I kind of want to get rid of Camp. I think they all can go. How's he looking? 85 stick checking, 75 shot blocking, 85 defensive awareness. I mean, none of them are as stellar defensively. And that's kind of part of the problem. Let's see what else they got. I got a text message from a random number that is... I don't know why I ended up having to share that. But anytime I see one, it's a random number, like the little 5-digit thing. Like, it's not an actual phone number, it's a notification. Like, it's probably like, hey, somebody tried to log into your MySpace account. Like, oh, that's nice. So there ain't anything on there, but if that's what you want... I don't know why I'm so attached to Mr. Yarncroak, but we're about to be unattached. He's about to be walking out the door. We can't keep him around any longer. Yarncroak, where you at, pal? Let me get you out of here. Let me find you a replacement first, obviously. Monahan? How's Monahan looking? On Montreal, -4. That ain't bad. Monahan's good defensively. How much is he costing? We can do that. Let's talk about Monahan. I think he gives us the flexibility up the middle if we need it. We want to put him on the wing, but he gives us that flexibility. Yarners is, I'm not even going to give myself the chance. I'm attached for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he did something good for us in the past, but I'm clearly having a hard time benching this guy, and he's clearly holding this team down. He's the worst in every department. So he's got to go. We're going to give you a first, Montreal. It's your lucky day because we have a lot of draft picks left. Do you have anything else that you would possibly want to give us to make us feel better about this trade? I did like Gooler earlier. Again, I don't know if we need a defenseman though. New Hook Gallagher would be a oh no he wouldn't. He said 6 milli. So that ain't gonna work. They don't want to put the playmaker down there either. Evans. I kind of want Gould still. Kind of do. Kind of want him a little bit. You guys want a wheel and deal, Montreal? How's he been playing this season? Ooh, not good. All right, so we just take Monahan. That'll work. I don't feel like we can give a rival a first-round draft pick for him. No, we're going to have to give you something else. Let's see what else we're going to work with. How about a second? And third and fourth. As long as it's not a first. Yeah, take it. Is that it? Is that the final move we make? I think it is. We have I just hit best NHL lines. My mistake. We have dang near completely revamped this Toronto Maple Leafs offense. The bottom 6 to be exact. I mean, we kept the core. And this is what I think Toronto needed, though, is they needed that bottom 6 shaken up a little bit. And that's where they've been struggling lately. You got to have a good bottom 6 when you enter the playoffs. And Morgan Riley is still not going to be our fourth line center or whatever that is, defenseman. Brody, if you're going to play here. Gonna hit me like that? You know I'm in it for the chemistry. But again, the defense hasn't been the problem, right? Now, they're still positive players, so that's good. We're going to leave the defense as is. We're going to jump into the playoffs, I think. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Just to make sure. We're going to walk into the standings. Make sure we aren't obliviously bad in one of these special teams departments. 1% on the PP, and now we're good. PK is 82%, so we're looking good there. We just got to finish the season strong. Because I think now, again, team's in a much better position. You got a top 6 that can beat anybody in the league and put up goals. What you need, though, is when things tighten up in the playoffs, you need a bottom 6 that can keep the game close. grind across a couple of goals. I think we're in position for that now. Lost to the Montreal Canadiens, got blanked in the first game, beaten Flyers game 2, overtime lost to Carolina. That's a tough team to play. You're going to go out and Philly and Washington, split the series in a back-to-back. So we're doing all right there. Devils going to drop that one, playing a whole lot of teams out in the Metro right now. Toronto, a bubble team. And they've got to get going. There's a win against Montreal, win against Pittsburgh. Going to drop the game against the New Jersey Devils. Both of them against the New Jersey Devils. Toronto on the bubble. They're going to make playoffs. And not only are they going to make playoffs, they're going to squeak into the number 3 seed. And they're going to play the Buffalo Sabres in round number 1. Just making it good to see there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Was a little bit concerned for a second there. Got it taken care of. 102 points for Auston Matthews on the season. A very good season. We said he was on pace for 50. He just about hit it. 34 goals. Very good season for Mitch Marner. 29 goals out of Nylander. Had 4 guys at almost 30 plus goals. Tavares had an excellent season. 38 goals. He needed to drive that ship. We couldn't pick up the sniper on the way on the block. A good goal score. And we got Tavares to go out and take care of business for us there. That was huge. McTavish was a -4. -3 for Monahan. Again, a little bit of concern on that bottom 6. Camp continued to struggle. Ryan Reeves was -9. We just couldn't figure that out. We couldn't figure it out all season for some reason or another. I don't know if Lafferty is the guy that should be playing. He's been, again, bogging the team down a little bit himself. 45 giveaways, 36 takeaways. How was Monahan looking? Monahan was stellar, if I'm mistaken, right? 37 by 49 before he came here. Still positive when he came. Camp, 36 giveaways, 30 takeaways. Was that better or worse than Lafferty? Looked to be better, but he played more, it looks like. Bring Ryan Reeves back in here? That'd be a good idea. He was positive, and he didn't turn the puck over near as much as the rest of them. And he brings that physicality to the team that you want to have. We're going to make a bold change late. Entering the postseason, and 46 wins. 46 of them for the Buffalo Sabres. Good for them. Buffalo's going to finish with the number 2 seed. Or number 2 in the Atlantic, we should say. 46 wins, 26 losses. We did have one more win than them. Them overtime losses propelled them above us. 3.959, 3.49. Really similar teams here, statistically wise. Goals against and goals for. We're going to jump into this one, though. And we're going to play the Buffalo Sabres round number 1. Home ice advantage goes to the Buffalo Sabres. Toronto going to go out on the road, going to play a different foe than what they're used to seeing in the first round. Here we go. Win in game 1, win in game 2. Toronto getting off to a good start here. Possibly going to get out the brooms against the Buffalo Sabres, and they will. We're going to enter the second round. Toronto getting the brooms out. I like it. As a good start. Who we got to get round 2? Who are we beating in round 2? I mean, Toronto. This is going to be a concern because now Toronto's going to go into the second round. All those days off because everybody else is probably playing 7. And, you get a little rusty playing that first game. They're going to play Florida. They're going to win that one, though. Doesn't matter. At Florida. Florida getting higher seed than them. Florida winning the division. Florida going to take 2 of the first 3. We're going to go to game 4 at home. Going to win it. Here we go. Game number 5 in Florida. Can be a game changer. 5-3 W against the Florida Panthers. Here we go. Game number 6. Chance to close out the series. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 series away from making the Stanley Cup Finals. And who? Washington? I did not see Washington making the playoffs. Nonetheless, Toronto's going to take game number 1. Not only to make playoffs, they was a good freaking team. Going to take game number 2. Toronto's hot. They're going to lose game number 3. Going to get blanked at home. You don't want to lose the home games, though, Toronto. You got to win the home games. They lose both of them. I take it back. They're not high. Let us win again. Toronto had a 2-0 lead. They had 2-0. It was feeling so good. They was running through teams in the playoffs. And it was up 2-0 against the Washington Capitals at the conference finals. And all of a sudden, they find themselves down 3-2 in game 6. And in game 6, they must win. John Tavares comes up strong. 38 goals this season. He tacks another one on there to his total. Novak Nylander, period number 2. Looking good. Toronto. Did I hit the pause button? I did. Toronto up 4-2. Power play. Capitals of Toronto can kill this one off. And they do. They are going to be looking really pretty in this one. Power play for the Leafs. Leafs going to come up with absolutely nothing on this one here. Toronto, 2-goal lead, 7 minutes left. Big save there by Darcy Kemper. Toronto is trying to go for the insurance goal. They're not going to get it. Big saves there. Tavares, Lafferty, Washington within 1. Toronto gets the empty net insurance goal, and we're going to a game number 7. Toronto breathes life for another day. Toronto is one game away from revisiting the Stanley Cup and one game away from giving themselves a chance to rewrite history as the team that has been struggling to go anywhere for the last half a century. They have a chance to go up, win a Stanley Cup. Here we go. Washington, Toronto. Toronto jumps out to the 3-1 lead early. Tavares, Monahan, and Matthews, the guys putting up goals that you want to see put up goals, are doing it. Tavares is having a heck of a postseason. Possible Conn Smythe winner here. Looking early. They got to get to that point, though. 6-3 Toronto heading into the third period. It is 7-3 Toronto. Toronto is going to steamroll the Washington Capitals in Game 7, and the momentum is back. Toronto is 4 wins away from turning things around and finally seeing Auston Matthews, finally seeing John Tavares hoist the Stanley Cup. They're going to play a young, a talented Vancouver Canucks team in the Stanley Cup Finals. They're going to lose game number 1 6-2. They're going to be the home team. They're going to win game number 2 in overtime. Possible momentum swing there. Overtime winners are always the good ones. Here we go, 5-1. Toronto's going to win game number 3. Chance to win game 4, and they will. Toronto's up to a 3-1 lead, overpowering the Vancouver Canucks so far in this series, and they have a chance to close things out at home in 5 games. Here we go, 1-1 after 1. Barabanov, the mid-season pickup scores on Demko. Hronek on Samsonov. Here we go, period number 2. Vancouver puts up a couple. JT Miller probably dropped 40 again once more this season, something he's very good at, and Vancouver is steamrolling Toronto in game number 5. JT Miller puts up another one. Toronto's going to lose this one 5-3. Toronto still ahead, 3-2 in the series. They have 2 more games to close this one out. This one's on the road. You always want to win that Stanley Cup if you can. It's so much more exciting, so much more fun winning it in front of that home crowd. But of course, if you're Toronto, you're going to take that cup any given night you can get it. If it's got to be in Vancouver, it's got to be in Vancouver. Here we go, 3-1 lead early. McTavish, Novak. Seeing those guys picked up in the mid-season coming up strong again. We talked about that bottom 6. The bottom 6 needs... Ooh, ex-Leaf scoring on there, McCabe. We talked about how important it is for the bottom 6 to put up goals in the playoffs. They got some more there. Tavares with another goal. We talked about Tavares in his season as an insurance goal. Barabanov with another one. Toronto was up 5-2 late in the third period. Toronto is 10 minutes away. They got a 3-goal lead from winning a Stanley Cup. And here it comes, Toronto. Take your... I don't even know what I want to say. That was kind of awkward. I was going to say, take your skates straight onto the ice. I mean, that would have made sense because you are Stanley Cup champions, and we did it. We turned the Toronto Maple Leafs into a Stanley Cup winner in just one season. Toronto does it, and more importantly, I love that we did it. We didn't have to sign any huge name. We brought in one solid. We were bringing a second liner. I was going to say, we used this core. And we found a way to win a Stanley Cup with a team of just depth players, solid depth players, under a good contract, too. Something the Leafs, a team-friendly deal. Give the Leafs a little bit of hope in the future with these players they have for such a long time. Art Ross going to McDavid, Memorial going to David. Lady Bing going there. Calder going to Memorial. Was that Jeff Skinner? Conn Smythe went to Mitch. Marner, I really thought Tavares had a heck of a postseason. Marner had a better one, apparently. We've seen Tavares lighten up that scoreboard in the Stanley Cup Finals and the Conference Finals. Vezina went to Hellebuck. Sorokin got to William Jennings. Masterton went to Hampikanen. Jack Adams, Irwin, Ryan O'Reilly got to Selke. The Ted Lindsay went to Connor McDavid. It just now came to me that we did not show the goaltender stats for the season. How did these goaltenders play? Samsonov, 307 goals against. Not very good. Meanwhile, Wool was nasty. 921 save percentage, 2.41 goals against. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because Toronto walked home with the Stanley Cup. If you all enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you liking and subscribing. You never have to. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.